We have a statewide emergency declaration in place. All of this underscores how seriously you should take these storms. And I want you to know we're expecting significant impacts from wind and potentially spawning some tornadoes as well. But for the most part, we really believe this is going to be a week where water will present the most immediate and serious hazard to the people of Louisiana. And one of the things that's going to make this very difficult to quickly help individuals, whether search and rescue or delivering assistance, is what Ben said a while ago. The window of time within which we may be able to operate and maneuver between the two storms may be as little as 12 hours, maybe 12 to 18 hours. And so that's going to make things very difficult from a search and rescue standpoint. It's going to make things very difficult from the standpoint of restoring electricity. Because those trucks can't operate when the winds get to 35 miles per hour or greater. And so you can anticipate that if your electricity goes out, and I've never known us to have a hurricane without electricity going out for a number of people, that it could be out longer than would be normal. And that's why we're telling people, for all of these reasons, be prepared for you and your family for the first 72 hours. Obviously, we're going to get to you just as quickly as we possibly can, and we always tell you that the first 72 hours are on you. That's part of our plan going into it. But this one, has a greater likelihood than other storms that we've had, where it's going to be that 72 hours before you may receive some assistance. So you should be prepared to shelter in place yourself and your family for at least that long. In order to be prepared to do search and rescue, the State Fire Marshal's Office has deployed staff from Region 7 up in Shreveport and 8 in the Monroe area down towards South Louisiana, comprising 2 urban search and rescue teams with 35 members, 8 watercrafts. Each have been staged in Lafayette and in Tangipahoa Parish. GOSEP, Emergency Operations Center, is operating 24 hours a day. Crisis Action Team is working with parishes to supply sandbags and other resources as we receive requests for assistance. An update from this morning: 25 parishes have now issued emergency declarations. 12 additional parishes are in the process of completing their emergency declarations, and there may be more to follow. I do want to remind everybody that COVID-19 is prevalent throughout our state, just like it is the rest of the country. It's in every community. We cannot ease up on practicing all of the mitigation measures that we've been talking about for months now. The virus is not concerned that we have hurricanes coming. And so it's not going to take any time off, and neither can we. And it's going to make things a little more difficult. But we have to be mindful of these mitigation measures, and particularly wearing masks, social distancing, proper hygiene with washing your hands, and so forth. So please make sure you do have hand sanitizer, soap and water, and masks so that you can stay safe. We are going to pause COVID testing on Monday and Tuesday in light of the storms. If there are going to be closures beyond that, we will make that announcement later. But we do want you to get tested if you need to. If you have symptoms, or if you've been a close contact to someone who is COVID positive, and we want you to get tested as soon as possible. So pay attention to when that testing is going to be available for you. This is also an important reminder about COVID when you are sheltering in place. You need to protect yourself against COVID-19, and if you have immediate family members who cannot stay in their home for some reason, you take them in. If you're coming from different households, you need to practice the distancing to the maximum extent possible, and the wearing of masks as well. And for those reasons, congregate shelters, I should say, will be a last resort. We do have a growing number of areas that are under mandatory evacuation. I am going to read that list now because I think it's very important. And we do encourage everybody to closely follow the news and heed the warnings that come from your local governmental officials. But implemented mandatory evacuations are as follows: East and West Bank of Plaquemines Parish, Golden Meadow in Lafourche Parish, Grand Isle in Jefferson Parish, also Barataria, Crown Point, Jean Lafitte, and Lower Lafitte, all of those in Jefferson Parish. And then in Lafourche Parish, south of the Leon Terrio floodgate, and south of Zone 1 in Terrebonne Parish. For those who need to evacuate, this is what you have to do now. First of all, stay with family or friends if possible. Make hotel reservations in a safer area if that is preferable to you and available to you. If you can avoid sheltering in place with people outside of your household, you should. If you have to shelter in place with others, again, remember to wear a mask, keep distance, even in your own home. And I know that's very different from anything we've experienced up to now or that I've had to say up to now, but even in your own home, if you're sheltering with people who are not part of your immediate household, you need to follow these mitigation measures. If you don't have any of these options available to you, or if you need transportation assistance, please contact your Office of Emergency Preparedness. You can find contact information under contacts at getagameplan.org. So if you go to getagameplan.org, it's going to give you all of the information that I just gave you about being prepared for hurricanes, but there's also information about contacts for your local officials. DOTD staff are on alert. They mobilize their high water signs, barricades, and other equipment that may be needed to address issues related to the storms. And Ben mentioned this a while ago, but quite often in storms like this, the thing that causes the most deaths isn't necessarily a direct impact of the wind or so forth. It is the flooding and individuals trying to drive through water when they don't know how deep that water is and whether it's safe to do so. So we are strongly encouraging everyone to not drive through water unless you are 100% sure that it is safe. Do not disregard any high water signs. And remember that there's often a current flowing across the roadway that is imperceptible to you while you're in your car. And it doesn't take much current in order to wash your car off the road. And many times when that happens, you're washed into a ditch or a stream where the water is much, much deeper than it is on the road itself. Also want to tell you about water with the rain that's going to come in and the wind, which will weaken trees from Marco, followed by additional rain and stronger winds with Laura. We can anticipate that there will be a number of trees that get blown over, potentially onto people's homes, but also onto roadways and power lines. So everybody should be aware of that as well. That's going to present a particular hazard, especially, and everyone should treat a down power line as if it is live. DOTD has activated 40 out of 110 school buses and 20 coach buses, and they're positioned half each at Lamar, Dixon, and Gonzales, and in Lafayette near the airport. The National Guard is providing the drivers, and we certainly appreciate all of them for that work. I do want to remind everyone, if you're out and about, or first of all, you shouldn't be out and about unless it's absolutely safe to do that. But if you need to see what roads are closed, either because of construction or because of high water, go to 511la.org, 511la.org, or the 511LA app, and you will see real time what roads are closed or open. I will tell you that we anticipate that our next UCG will be tomorrow morning with a call with the Weather Service. Then in the afternoon, we'll do another UCG meeting. Press conferences, I believe, are scheduled at 11:30 tomorrow and at 6 again. So that'll be the same schedule that we had today. And with that, I'm happy to take your questions, and you can direct your questions to any members of our team, and you can see that we have quite a few team members here today. Sam?